the cloud.
Something is being recorded. I hope.
Du säger att de stänger av sina mikrofoner, kan du göra?
Would you please turn off your microphones? Okay. I'm going to take you back to the year of 1999. I had my first class and I had a student called Rebecca standing in front of me, jumping for joy. And this is so much fun. Oh, I know that it isn't real, but I love it so much. It was the first storyline I had, and I was really, really certain that I won't get rid of storyline from my teaching. So storyline has been with me since 1999. Okay. Blip, blip. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah,
okay, who am I? My name is Lottis Isaksson. I am a teacher, a storyline teacher. I am a principal, and I am the owner of the Swedish school in Teneriffa. I used to say that storyline took me around the world. When 15 years ago, I applied for a job in Thailand. And when I sat down with the principal there, we started talking about a storyline, and she said, "You have to come to me and start to work with storyline at our school." So I did, and a couple of years after that, the storyline was still running at the school, even though I wasn't there. After we went to Thailand, I got a job in Saudi Arabia at the Swedish school there, and the same thing there. We worked with storyline, of course. And after Saudi Arabia, me and my husband got an opportunity to buy the Swedish school of Teneriffa. And we sat down to the drawing board and thought about, what are we going to do with this school? What school would we like our children to go to, other children to go to? And we want them to feel the joy in learning, the joy to getting to school every day. And of course, storyline was the only thing we really, really wanted, among a lot of other things, of course. So every term we have a storyline. We have one storyline in the autumn and one in the spring. So all the teachers that work with us, they do have to know about storyline and participate in that. The Swedish school in Teneriffa is a small school. We have about 60 students from 3 years old up to 18, I think the oldest are. And we teach storyline together with them from 3 years up to 12 years. So all the children participate in school. Now I'm going to tell you about a storyline that we called Miljöhjältarna, Environmental Heroes. And as you know, every storyline should start with an exciting start, something to get the children going. And this storyline, we decided to start with a message from the future.
Mayday, mayday. Om det är någon som hör detta, jag vet inte, men vi prövar. Hallå. Det här är X532 som sänder ifrån år 2073. Vi befinner oss mitt inne i en klimatkatastrof, en global klimatkatastrof. Vi har barrikaderat oss här. Alltså de sista som har kommit in i huset, för här är snö över taken och det är en ny som är på gång. Vi behöver oss själva och skydda, för vi klarar oss med naturen, utan vi levde mot naturen och bara tog av alla resurser, och nu får vi betala priset. Det var länge sedan vi hade rent vatten. Ja, det var det första som försvann. Alla vattendrag blev förorenade. Vatten gick inte att dricka. Det har vi inte druckit på flera årtionden. Sen dog växter och djur tog stryk när luften var totalt förorenad. Ja, ren luft naturlig ren luft, det var bra länge sedan. Men vi har ju fortfarande så att vi kan få tag i luft här i form av sån här spray. Så ett ögonblick bara här så jag måste få lite... Ja, det var skönt. Konstgjord luft i begränsad form finns att få tag i. Varför lyssnade vi inte mer på naturens signaler tidigare? Det kan man fråga sig. Så är det någon som hör oss så sitter vi inbarrikaderade här i huset i staden 0035 XP. Tänk om jag kunde skicka det här meddelandet inte bara ut i cyberrymden utan även bak. Tänk om det fanns en möjlighet via tidssimulation att faktiskt få ut det här meddelandet bakåt i tiden och på så vis lyckas att hejda den här framtidsverkligheten som vi befinner oss i just nu. Jag tror det jag ska försöka. Tidssuminatorn kanske går att få igång. Ja, vi prövar. Och kanske kan vi skicka ytterligare meddelanden. Så hör ni oss? Hjälp, hjälp! Vi måste rädda vår miljö. Vi måste rädda vår miljö. Nej, nu dog batterierna igen.
Okay, this was in Swedish, so I will interpret it into English. The message was from X532 in the year 2073, and he told us that there was a climate crisis, and that was because we didn't live with the nature, we lived against the nature, and now we had to pay our price. There was no clean air, there was no clean water, the animals and plants were dying. So he needed our help to change the future. And the only way we could do that was change the past, our present. He told us that he would send us some helpers to do this. No.
Ta musen på bara och klicka en gång.
So, okay. Of course, we work with key questions. And when we work with the key questions, we use cooperative learning. I think many of the Swedish teachers know about it. I don't know if the teachers from abroad know about it, but because it has been a very popular thing to work with in Sweden. And the key questions, we use a method that is called the carousel quite a lot. So we write down all the key questions on papers and let them be out in the classroom. And we divide the children into groups, 2 and 2 or 3 or 3, and they will go around like a carousel and read the questions and write down the answers, what they think about the questions. And why do we do this? Because we want all the children's voices to be heard, because in a big classroom with many voices, only the strongest are heard, and we want everyone's opinions to be heard. And after that, we talk to the children in a big group and discuss what they have said and what they, This is one of the methods that we used for the key question that is really, really good. And of course, a storyline needs characters. They filled in their identity card, and then we spoke about what kind of characters we should do. And the children said, oh, this is a really hard task. We need to have like some magic or something to fix it, because it's really, really hard. So they decided that they wanted a magical wand. So all the children made magical wands. I wonder if they could use those in this task. as I said before, we have visitors. This visitor is the beekeeper. She came out through a magical portal, chasing the last bee. And I have the pleasure of working with a lot of different teachers, and this is actually a Finnish-Swedish teacher that is really creative, that helped us with this storyline. She didn't find the bees, but she told the children that bees are really, really important for our future, because if we don't have any bees, we can't get any food. So the children were really, really upset, of course, and started thinking about what are we going to do to save the bees. We had to think about how everything connected. We talked about food chains. We talked about biological diversity. And after that, we came to action. They decided to build insect hotels. The younger ones made more simple ones, and the older ones made more complex ones. And after that, we had to put them somewhere. So we had a parent on the school who owned a farm, a fruit farm. So we gave all the insect hotels to this father. And we got a present back, of course. We got some bananas. The second visitor was the garbage man. He told us that the future was the earth was filled with garbage. There were big piles. There were a lot of cell phones, a lot of plastic in the ocean, and much more. So the children said, we have seen it here too. We see there's a lot of plastic in the ocean. When I am at the beach, I often have to pick up garbage. When I walk on the beach promenade, I see a lot of cigarette butts. That's not okay. So they decided to take action, to do a beach cleaning and clean the beach promenade. And so we did. And they had to learn how to recycle it as well. Because we were in Spain, it's not the same way of recycling as it is here in Sweden. So actually the parents of the children didn't know how to recycle in the Spanish way. So we had to teach the children that taught the parents. I even had a student who was half Spanish, half Swedish, and her grandparents lived at Teneriffa. And she told me they all put the same garbage in the same pile and throw it away. So she had to teach her grandparents how to recycle in Spain, even though they have lived there forever. As I told you, we work with 3-year-olds up to 12-year-olds. So they do their own, they deal with the problem in different ways. Here we have the preschool children, and they wanted to build a flower mountain over all the garbage. And actually, it wasn't such a stupid idea, because in Santa Cruz de Tenerife, the biggest city, they have an old garbage pile that they made to a palm tree forest, so you can go there and look at it. And here we have the preschool children who are presenting what they learned to the other children at school. And they were so brave. They stood in front of the 15-year-olds and told them about their flower mountain. They were safe, they were secure, and they were proud of doing something special. We invited the surf club to come to us and talk to us about the environment. Here is Angelo and Stella, and they are talking about being aware of the plastics in the water, picking it up. And I think it's really, really important, as you all have said it before, taking the community into school, working together. And this was our way.
15 minutes.
Okay. Here we have the third visitor, and it's an oil sheikh that was really, really upset because in the future there was no oil left. He didn't know how to drive his big car and air condition his home, and the children was really upset of him and told him, but you can't do that. You have global warming and greenhouse gases. So they actually told him what to do, and they had a lot of knowledge before. So we got right to the inventions, how we should do to make more efficient energy resources that are sustainable. We, of course, did a field trip to visiting ITER, the Institute of Technology and Energy. And Teneriffa is the best place in the world because the sun shines 360 days a year. Of course, solar power is the best thing to have there. But we aren't there yet, but it's a big progress and lots of work on it. And it's a windy island, so it's perfect for the surfers and perfect for windmills, of course. And here we have the fourth visitor. I know that Andreas is looking in Tenerife. Here we have a goat shepherd. He was really upset because all his goats are dying. And he didn't know why. So we did some investigation and we found out that they were poisoned by the water hole in his goat farm. And of course, we had to look more at toxins, what they were, how they were marked, and find out other ways of cleaning our home than with toxic cleaning supplies. Okay, how did it all end?
Ja, men det är fantastiskt. Och vi har fått igång. Jag kör en X532. Jag nu är tillbaka här igen ifrån 2073. Men det är fantastiskt. Hela klimatet har ritat sig. Det är som det var förr. Det är underbart. Titta, vi har en härlig blå himmel med en sol som skiner. Och det är fantastiskt. Och vi har vatten. Titta, klart vatten. Som man kan bara... Man kan inte få nog. Bara dricka. Det är så fantastiskt. Och se blommorna, de är tillbaka. Visst är de vackra. Och kommer ihåg luften, det gick inte att andas luften, men nu... man blir hög bara man doftar här. Ja, men det är helt underbart. Det är någonting som har gjorts med klimatet. Någon måste ta tag i detta och gjort det fantastiskt igen. Det är underbart, Titta. Ja.
Yes, it ended great, of course. We can't lose hope. We have to have hope and show that they can make difference. Of course, we were rewarded with a green flag. And I have the last thing to tell you. When we work with storyline with children, we want them to become able to make action, to do things in the real world. Here we have a student of mine. She has been in my school for her whole life, actually. She has been going through a lot of storylines. And many people that isn't that into storyline, they think that we play. But do we? No, we don't play. We make people, students, persons to be, they want to make action, they want to do different things. Actually, this is my daughter. I don't know if you can see the resemblance. We moved here to Sweden and she started school here in the summer. 1 month after moving here, she contacted the Green Party in Sweden and asked to join by herself. After 4 months in the party, she was elected språkrör, the spokesperson of the youth party here in Gothenburg. So yes, our Storyline children, they make a difference. They are the future. And what we learn them, they take it with them in their lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Lottis. So nice. Let's stop the share. I think we have questions here for you. Maybe you just stand over here. Let's do this, a speaker view. Oh, it is. Oh. Can you...
Okay, I translated. I hope you understood the parts. The main language in our school is Swedish. It's a Swedish school and we teach in Swedish. And my students come from Sweden, and the parents, what do they do in Tenerife? Many of them are self-employed, so they can work on distance. But some of them work in Tenerife as well, with helping people with pain in their bodies, and so on. So we have 60 students living there the whole time. Then we have short-term students as well.
One question? Was it anything else here? Applause you get here.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I would love to understand, yes.
Yes.
Oh.
I hope you got the translation there.
Any questions from you here in the room? Just, I think, oh, here's, no, we didn't know. I hope that you understood the translation of it, but it was very, very interesting and very nice to know that your daughter takes this on. Okay, yes?
Your daughter, she's going to a normal school now in Sweden. Do they have storyline?
My daughter is in Ingrid Segerstedts gymnasium, and they do a bit of role playing there, but she hasn't participated in that yet. But
really a gymnasium for students who wants to change things.
Yes, absolutely.
In society.
Yes, they are really good. We are so happy. Yeah.
When do you have a storyline at your school in Spain? Twice a year or once?
Twice a year, yes. One in the spring and one in the autumn. And the whole school participates from the 3 years to 12 years. So it's a really good thing among us teachers to cooperate, and we have so much fun, and we get to know each other really, really well, because we work together with the most important thing, what we want to teach the children. A lot of good discussions.
And I guess it's very easy to work outside.
Yeah.
It's so warm.
Yeah. We have a lot of good opportunities there.
How long are normally your projects?
This one was for 8 weeks. It depends depending on the storyline, but this one was for 8 weeks.
Well, it's 5 minutes till next session, so we have to end. Sadly. Thank you so much. And I will close this link, and thank you everybody out there in space. Goodbye.